Hello, everyone. Welcome to Carbonetic YouTube channel. Always a pleasure to meet with you guys. Thanks again for joining. Today we are live from up north BC with Brent, our Carbonetic CEO, as you remember, back from the holidays. And now we have a surprise for you today as the drone team is working. What's going on up north BC, Brent?
Hey, Martin, good to be with you after holidays. We're busy here up in northeastern BC. Lots of flies around me, which is all part of it. And what we're doing is capturing some high quality multispectral imaging, which allows us to understand health, species, things of that nature, as well as LiDAR, which is telling us how big the trees are, how tall they are, and also what species they are. And we sort of match all that data together. So we're up here with the operational truck with the space cap, all the gear in it. And of course, the trailer is a mobile command post. I'm coming to you live via Starlink. So thanks to Elon Musk and his brilliant network of satellites allowing us to stream this live. And of course, you may not be watching it live, but this was done in real time in the north, which is pretty cool. So behind me is the Liard River, and we're flying into the project boundary. And then ahead of me and to this way in every direction, basically, is another Casca carbon project that we're currently working on. And they're bucketed out into different projects. So we have the SIA project first, and then we have the Dees Liard project over closer to Dees River, Good Hope Lake. And then we have the North Liard project, which is where I'm standing now. And then behind me will be eventually the Deniquequsan, which is that 3.9 million hectare flagship project. So just a number of projects going on around here. And yeah, super excited to be capturing this high quality data so we can really tell what the trees are doing, how they're doing, and really track that growth and yield, which allows us to create the carbon offsets of the highest quality. So really technology driven, and we're at the cutting edge here.
Yeah, and I invite people who are not aware to go to our LinkedIn, actually LinkedIn company profile. I'm gonna post a lot of different pictures and videos in the next few days, so that people can see exactly the kind of technology and drone that we are using. I'm showing back on the screen here. You might not see it, Brent, but I'm showing exactly the pin location of where you are, which is almost at the top of British Columbia at the border of Yukon. What can you say about a few questions for you first? So, what can you say regarding the weather conditions that you're in right now? What's the temperature? At what time the sun is setting? So, up to when our team can work for collecting the drone data? And last is question for you is how was the forest fire season so far in that area?
Yeah. So temperature today, it's warm. It's t-shirt weather. I have long sleeves and my collar done up because there are lots of bugs. This is northern British Columbia. Where we are, just to give people an impression if they're looking, Google the town of Watson Lake, Yukon, and we're about 100 kilometers south of that. And then if you Google the Liard River Hot Springs, we're about 100 kilometers north of that. And right now we've got a drone taking off in the background. Let's
Oh,
go
just give
fly
me a
some more
sec.
survey.
Oh yeah.
See the big boy taking off, and it's going to go ahead and cross the river and go capture some more images. So I don't know if I can flip my camera or not. No, I can't.
No, it's not
Unfortunately.
working.
So anyways, we'll post lots of pictures of it.
Yeah. The what I've done is while we are talking to each other, I posted actually a screen picture of where you're located with the flight plan of the drone actually, so that the
Yep.
people can see exactly how it works.
And I can just come over here and I can show you. So we get the command center behind us, and we've got Mason Paul, who's one of our key team members. Hello. Hey guys.
Oh, Mason.
and he can show you the remote, and it'll show some pretty pictures here. He's just in the menu right now, so there you go. That's what we were seeing on the big screen, and that's what the remote is doing. So he's flying a collection of LiDAR. We're picking up about 350 points per square meter, and you can see there it's just hanging out right now, calibrating, and it's going to fly across the Liard River rather, and start collecting that high quality imagery.
Awesome. So what about the forest fires season? And the next question to you would be how long the team will be on site actually for, I guess, for the next few days, next few weeks?
Yeah, so forest fires, it was a mixed season, so not as bad as last year. Obviously, could always be better, but of course we're still reeling from the devastation of the full-scale evacuation of Fort Nelson that occurred earlier this year, which was, tragic, and of course loss of houses, loss of businesses. So, just something we really have to be aware of, and easily forgotten in wake of the bigger tragedy of Jasper, but still very real to the families that were displaced, lost everything. And of course, Jasper, predicted to be close to $1 billion in insurance claims already filed, 338 structural losses growing, as well as the myriad businesses, and people just stopped coming to Canada. A lot of our tourists are European. So as soon as they saw the devastation, Jasper's always in their bucket list to travel through. So that wiped out a lot of opportunities for Canadians, both to recover on tourism, and we'll see what happens in Jasper. In BC, milder fire season, but still, very real and still ongoing. So a lot of issues still, to deal with. And in terms of the team being up here, we're going to be up here for at least another week. So captured about 800 hectares of data so far. So 10,000 square meters to the hectare. That's a lot of data. And what we're learning, which is interesting, is that trees are taller than we thought. They're classed wrong from old government data. So this is really crucial work, because we need to know what the forest is doing currently and then be able to compare that to what it would do based on our projects. And we're also doing some analysis to figure out what are the prime growing sites, where can we replant trees where they can be more productive, where are forests stalled, where the pine has come back really thick and needs to be spaced out. So we do all this through data. We understand things because we have the information to build theories on, and then track our performance of our credits based on high quality collection of data. And that's why this phase is so crucial, and why we go to the expense and effort to collect all this information. And the team, to answer your earlier question, they're out here basically as soon as they can get out in the mornings. They're kind of limited by the time the kitchen opens at Liard River Hot Springs. Great place to stay.
Yeah.
Shout out to them, by the way, right across from one of Canada's best hot springs. So they grab a sandwich and then head out to the woods, and they have the full comfort of home in the command post trailer here. So very comfortable and very well equipped. Let's come in for a little tour.
Here we go.
So, here we are. So just coming in through the entryway. So all our storage, if they get caught out, of course, there's a place to sleep, for a bed. And then we have a charging station here doing its work, charging up some of the batteries. And then, of course, screen that we're viewing actually in real time. So this is actual data collection. You can see the stratification of the forest. It's really cool stuff. Just these natural patches which help to create wildfire defense. They're all deciduous, so they burn slower and different. And then just a beautiful pine forest with some elements of spruce and just undulation. And of course, over here, this dip that we're seeing, that's the Liard Basin. So LiDAR is doing its job, but this is Command Post Central, and of course, lots of data collection going, but lots of post-processing too. So taking raw data, converting it confirming it, cleaning it, and then turning it into intelligence, which allows us to really build our models and prove out our high quality credits. So super excited to be in the field. Always a good day. And courtesy, obviously, of Starlink too, which is
totally. It's absolutely awesome. How many points of staging do you guys get? Like, because I assume that when they're done one day at some stage point, they travel, they go to another location to grab another section of data collection.
Yeah, exactly right. There's 4 main staging areas that we've plotted out. And a lot of that's to do of being of the right elevation. And then these drones operate under line of sight rules. So right now we're flying about 4 kilometers out to the mission site, and then it flies its pattern. And the pattern has an overlap of about 60%. So when you're flying 400 hectares, it's more like about 650 in order to get the coverage. And that way we get some side collection and we really can understand what's there from a tree perspective. And LiDAR, of course, is that theory that we're shooting lasers at the ground or whatever's above ground in the form of a tree. And so we get many points hitting the ground, and that creates the digital terrain map. So we know what the earth is doing, how it's undulating the terrain. And then we can strip that away and we can actually see the trees, which of course the lasers have hit many points on the way down. And those are the branches. And immediately once you can flip to the LiDAR point sort of distribution image, and we'll send you an example of that to post, you can immediately start to see, oh, okay, well, that's a pine tree, that's a spruce tree, that appears to be about 25 meters tall, and you can see it all in real time. And that's what really allows us to take what is essentially a very unknown forest with really outdated government data and start to say, no, this is actually what's here. This isn't age class 2, this is age class 3, which makes a big difference in terms of how much carbon it's sequestering. Yeah. This isn't height class 2, this is actually height class 3. These trees are getting to be over 30 meters tall when government data is saying that they're less than 20. Super important, and it allows us to actually come up with the amount of cubic meters of biomass per hectare, which really does dictate how much or informs how much carbon is not only being sequestered, but is how much is held in that forest. Yeah. And of course, when a forest fire comes and it devastates all the biomass, that's when we learn about how devastating and how much of a carbon bomb wildfires are, and why we want to be really proactive to make sure that we can prevent and avoid. And of course, Mason has been instrumental in developing some technology to take satellite regression imagery and use that to predict in a way what fuel types are. And so we can start to think about how we plan to build resilience against wildfire in an area as vast as this. And of course, our affiliation with companies that are building unmanned UAVs, things that we think we can deploy with a fire payload to go and immediately expunge a hotspot after a lightning strike, flying drones. So the big guys like our Skyfront Perimeter 8 over here that's just taking a break right now, having it up in the air, and it has what's called a FLIR camera. So it's a long-range drone, can fly up to 50 kilometers an hour. Right now we're using some DJI products because we're a lot closer, higher cycle. And so we can really start to think about how we can remotely disrupt the wildfire cycle. Not saying that all wildfire is bad, but in certain situations, it makes sense to try to keep those fires to a minimum.
And what about the time of the year to collect such data? Because, of course, winter, you have snow. Some months of the season, the leaves on the trees, falls. So what is the perfect timing, actually, where you can collect the best quality images when you use LiDAR?
Yeah, it's actually right now. Being able to delineate the deciduous trees, so that's your aspen or poplar, people may refer to it as. So that's the yellow. And right now they're super yellow and they're changing color by the day. And so that's really allowing us to see what is coniferous. So in this case, either spruce, for the most part, black spruce, although there's a bit of white spruce, and then a lot of lodgepole pine. So we can just see it. It stands out like a sore thumb. And that's really good from an imaging perspective, and really good from a data collection perspective. The only step better, if we were really looking to understand 100% biomass modeling, is if there were no leaves on the deciduous trees. And we may get there, although it's not crucial at this point in time, because we're much more interested in the coniferous trees.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks again for the great tour. That was really, really cool to see the command center. You see the team, going, the drone flying, the flies all over you.
Yep.
And so we're staying on the ground for another week, probably around 7 to 10 days, as you said. That's roughly it before the team comes back home and start processing actually all of the images and all of the data which has been collected, right?
Yeah, some of it is being processed as we speak, because we are obviously hooked to Starlink, and we can send some imaging back and forth to one of our other processing technicians, and so that's really helpful. But all this will end up really informing what's there from biomass perspective, as well as speciation, and really just build the platform that we've been looking to build. We've invested a lot of money in technology to differentiate our credits, to build trust, transparency, and reliability in a crediting market that has had a lot of bad actors and a lot of false starts. And we just want to really dig in, bringing high quality, high integrity credits to the marketplace that are backed by real technology. And so that's a key for us, and that's why we invest so heavy, not only in the development of technology, but of course technology is only so good, that data, as what you can actually feed it into to build, right? So we built some technology. Now we're actually feeding it into a database that we can pull from, and it's just really crucial. And of course, this helps our work with the CASCA. This helps our work when we're dealing with the provincial government, building these Forest Offset Protocol or FCOP compliant credits. It helps to build trust with our investors, and it also allows us to differentiate ourselves when we go to sell credits to folks that need to offset their unreducible carbon footprint. So looking forward to being able to share all this with their teams, to show them how deeply we believe in technology and how important that is to differentiate ourselves from other people who may not have the same approach to transparency as we do.
Yeah, thank you again. And just to tell the people which are watching the video today, if you want to know more about the company, our operations, who we are, what we do, you can go straight to our website. I will have the link right here in the video description. And also, for the next few days, if you're interested, go to our LinkedIn company profile, where I'm going to post a lot of different data that has been collected, that Brent will send straight to me, so I can provide it and put it on LinkedIn as well. So, Brent, thanks again for your time. It was really interesting to get to know what's going on in there, and say hello to the team for me.
I sure will. Thanks again, and thanks to our investors and anyone who's interested in Carbon Ethic and our mission of bringing the highest quality offsets to the planet. Thanks for tuning in.
And safe travel back home at the end of the week.
Thank you. We're just enjoying a wonderful drive. Honestly, it's just a dream to be here.
It's such a good place. And again, the team saw some caribous and some bisons. I post actually on LinkedIn one of the pictures where the bisons were surrounding the Carbon Mobile, if I may call it.
Yes, absolutely.
So really interesting. Thanks again. Talk to you soon, Brent, and see you for the next video. Bye, everyone.